Habari za asubuhi, habari za mchana, habari za jioni, kakas and dadas all over the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, brothers and sisters all over the world. And yes, I am talking to each and every one of you all over the world. The name of this channel is The African Times, and I'm Thomas. All right, good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another broadcast of The Rise and Shine. The Rise and Shine. All right, it's a nice morning, a little overcast, but that makes it pretty nice because I can come out, talk to you, and it's not as hot. So that's because of the overcast. Sun is trying to peek out. It might be out in a few minutes, but I just want to let you know that the overcast kind of makes it not as bright. So I might look a little dark to you, Miss Chaga. It's okay. Sante Sana to all of you viewers who watching. We're seeing the growth, so I want to thank you for that. Thank you very much. But not necessarily thank you for watching me, but thank you for through your viewership showing that some of the things and the messages that we're trying to communicate to our black African brothers and sisters all over the world, that the message is being well received. So I again, I want to thank you for that. And also, I want to kind of let you know that we understand now the importance of having subscribers and how that benefits the channel, and that benefit allows us to survive here in Tanzania. It provides an additional source of funding so that we can continue to live. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about that in another video, but I do want to just tell you now, you'll hear me, because of its importance, you'll hear me say to you, please remember to hit that survival button. And that survival button is the subscribe button. The subscribe button. Like, share, those things are very important for this kind of platform with YouTube to provide revenue. And I want to make sure that that's understood by everybody, because I've been here a year and was reluctant to seek donations and things of that nature. Pretty much used the resources that I had available to me financially to try to accomplish the things that I needed. But I was not unaware that us as people uniting in action and purpose would require financial resources. And those financial resources we have with us. We just have to direct those funds in such a way that provides us the benefit. So I don't want to spend too much time on that because that's going to be a separate video. But understand now, I'm aware that one of the ways for us to have additional financial resources is through your subscribing. And that way, those of you who want to help, and even just viewing is helping. So don't misunderstand. Viewing is helping. Talking to people. Remember, I told you in the previous video that you have to engage in economic conversations with everybody at all times. You don't let a day go by that you you don't do that. So, oh man, it's about to rain, so you guys might hear something. What I'm saying to you is, I appreciate your viewership. Thank you. Remember to hit that survival button. It's very appreciated. And also, I've added a link to the channel for those who wish to support us, and only do that if you can. Your support comes through your viewership and your conscious awareness and action in interacting economically with African brothers and sisters all over the world, and having these discussions and then putting plans and actions in place among yourselves to change our situation economically. And you can do that by working together. Now, one of the ways of working together is, again, subscribing. That is an active way, a proactive way of working together without having to pool financial resources, because the viewership and the subscriptions do that. Hold on one second. It's early. I didn't sleep well last night, but let me get a drink. Hold on. Okay. So go ahead and do that. Now, I appreciate that. Sante Sana. Oh, and then one other note. The reason that you hear me speaking in Swahili, greeting you, and for those of you who don't know, I'm greeting you in the morning. Habari, hello, basically. Or Habari za asubuhi is like, I think, generally saying good morning. Habari za mchana is like saying good afternoon. And Habari za jioni is like saying good evening. And I do that, I try to do that, and try to be conscious of speaking to you in that way in Swahili first, in African language. That's my understanding. And even if you go back in history and you look at this African language and you find that it has parts that are from other nations or other areas, that's fine. If it's originated with a particular segment of the African population, that's fine. We have to recognize and understand that the current position that we're in, we still have to use a combination of the past and the present to create the future that we want. Just like you hear some people talk as an example that Africa was somebody else named Africa and it used to be called something else, and all of those things may be true. But again, that's my point. You have to utilize the past and the present to help kind of determine our future. So another example, and then I'll leave it alone, but just so that you understand. When I go to the beach, see, I know I'm looking at the African Ocean, the African Sea, whatever you want to call it, but it's the African Ocean, the African Sea. So it's official now. It's official. That's where I'm swimming. I know the people made the mistake and they mistakenly called it the Indian Ocean. I understand that. No problem. I don't have a problem. They made a mistake. They didn't know. But I know now. And we know. We just, in our own consciousness, we call it what we call it. Now that's present, calling it the African Ocean. The past, somebody called it the Indian Ocean. Maybe we go back further in the past, it might have been called something else. But the recent past, Indian Ocean. Present, African Ocean. Future, the African Ocean and Sea. Okay, so I hope you understand. So again, thank you for the patronage. Now, this broadcast of the Rise and Shine, I wanted to answer some questions. First, I wanted to explain to everyone that coming here to Tanzania, I told you we left quickly because of that situation that happened. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our experience here and trying to stay here in Tanzania, in Africa. because there are people who are doing videos about their experience, and some of them, the experiences, they're mixed, good and bad. The the challenge we face as brothers and sisters is being able to provide enough information to multiple groups of African people from abroad who are coming here, and then provide that same information to the Africans who are here on the motherland, so that we all understand what we're dealing with as people, and that even though each group, the groups of Africans that are here, the groups of Africans that are coming, they understand that the problems that they face, that arise, are common problems among the people that ultimately were not created by us African people. Those problems are the result of the W's, who are currently operating a system, a global system, and they're in control. And so we have to be careful not to let these issues that have been brought and put on us by these people distract us from the fact that we have to be united in our purpose. And I want to be clear. So again, the people coming over here, brothers and sisters coming from Africa, coming from America or Europe or wherever they're coming from, all over the world, coming to various countries in the motherland continent of Africa, they are coming because they are, for the most part, doing everything that they can to get away from that harsh environment created, developed, operated, managed, and maintained by the W's. Now they're coming here, in a sense, you can look at them as coming as refugees, is one of the terms they use. But the bottom line, we don't have to get all into technical in the terms, because you have to understand, basically, use your common sense. Don't let these people change that from you. These people are trying to escape and come here for freedom, a better quality of life. And that quality of life, the freedom, is also social, meaning just coming from that harsh environment where you're surrounded by these people who you know don't like you, treat you poorly, treat you unfairly. You're coming here so at least, even if some of those elements of harshness exist on the motherland continent, you still have the safety and security of looking around you and seeing the people that look like you, who, as an example, if you go for medical care, the doctor isn't trying to harm you just because your skin is dark. You understand? So those are advantages that outweigh the disadvantages of being over there with those people. I have to talk about this. I want you to understand, because even if, I want to give you an example, even if there are people, this isn't just an example, it doesn't matter whether it's talking about the people outside of Africa or the people in Africa. It doesn't matter which one you talk about first, so understand that. I'm just going to use the Americans and Europeans and the people from outside of Africa first, because I'm from there and I love the motherland, and the motherland should always be protected, period. Okay, so now in this example, the people coming from abroad, from outside of Africa. Let's say, as an example, I'm not saying this is how they are, I'm giving you an example. If they come here with the attitude that they're superior, because they come from these other places with these W's, and they've seen the W modernization of the land and the businesses and all of that. If they come to the motherland with that attitude that they're superior and they're wrong. Completely, absolutely, 100% wrong. That means they're out of their minds. That means they're coming with what? A white consciousness. Do you understand? A W consciousness. And bringing that here, that would be wrong. Now, the brothers and sisters in the great motherland of Africa, whatever country it is, it doesn't matter. But in the motherland continent of Africa, if they look at brothers and sisters coming from abroad, from W world, coming here to try to survive, to be with brothers and sisters who look like them, have the same values and cultures and ideas and philosophies that they do. And trust me, we all have them. I'm going to do another video on that later, so I'll get into more detail about that. But no, we share the same culture. We can't help but share it because it's ingrained, inherent in our spirituality. And I'm not talking religion. No, I'm talking about you as a person relate to other people who are like you. It's natural. You can't help it. Birds relate to birds. Monkeys relate to monkeys. Lions relate to lions. Do you understand? Do you understand? That's natural. They do that. So don't let nobody fool you. So we have that naturally. So what I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters in the motherland continent, I love you. I love you. When the Africans who are abroad come here, if your view, and I'm not saying it is, I'm just giving you an example, just like I gave you the example of the Americans in the superiority complex, if they bring that here. If the Africans here in the motherland continent look at brothers and sisters who come here as, if they look at them as foreigners, if they look at them as people who are like the W's, then we are all victims of the W propaganda, economic machine designed to distract us away from the goal of uniting with one another so that we can work together in purpose, intentionality, and action to develop our society and then compete with the other societies in the world. And if you take that view that you're going to look at them this way no matter what they say, and the Americans, they're going to look at you, or the Europeans, they're going to look at it this way no matter what, then you're part of the problem. And the W's will help you. They'll be happy to help you continue to think that way. Okay? So that means that when we come onto YouTube as a worldwide media source, allowing us to communicate with Africans all over the world, African brothers and sisters, black African brothers and sisters all over the world, in different parts of the world. When we have this opportunity to come and express various views about each other, whether we're from outside the African continent or within the African continent, it's very important to understand whether you intentionally know it or unintentionally do it, you are putting out to the world propaganda. In other words, you're helping to shape the attitude and opinions and thoughts of black African people abroad and black African people here. For me, my recommendation, the suggestion, is that when you do that, you can still tell mixed ideas, mixed opinions, mixed thoughts, and the good and the bad of the process. You can do that. But make sure that included in your message is that, no, we're all together. And these are family problems that we have to work out. And our goal, make sure you include the goal now, solutions, is that any thought, any action that is negative, that is against the development of united Africans working together all over the world for the betterment and improvement of our people, any action against that is unacceptable and must be changed. And all the solutions and strategies to change that, we have to talk about that in addition to the problems. The problems should only be talked about in the context of solving them so that we can work together and unite and then have our energy focused on what? Building, developing, and providing the protection and safety for our children and our posterity. That's it. Now, I'm saying that I don't want you to misunderstand. See, I'm here. I took a lot of courage to come here. I don't. My resources are not unlimited. No, no. Every day I'm here just like everybody else trying to survive. And let me be clear, we're doing that all over the world because the global economic system is controlled by the W's currently. And their system is set up in such a way that everything needed to survive, to maintain life, has a price. Do you understand me? They do that so that they what? Destabilize the family unit. Destabilize the family unit. See, when you have destabilization among people, starting with the family unit and self, then the family unit, it's very difficult for that family unit to be strong. The family unit has to be strong so that the family becomes strong. So all the individuals in the family have to be strong, but you can't focus on that because you're focusing on survival because they got everything tied to a price, particularly the things you need: water, food, clothing, shelter. You understand? Utilities, electricity, gas. Those things that would destabilize the family so that the family can't come together in prosperity and peace, tranquility, and have the freedom of mind to then think about their situation. Think about plans for the future. Think about ways to protect themselves against their enemies. And understand something, that enemy is not just the W's. No, weather is an enemy. Yeah, you live in a harsh environment, it's cold, that's your enemy. Every time that season changes, you better be prepared to do battle. That battle means getting proper shelter, getting proper heat, using the technology properly so that you can take care of yourself and survive. Do you understand? An animal could be an enemy. Snake, rat, whatever comes in your home, whatever. This is why they tie it to that. So if we allow ourselves to be distracted by these people who control every facet of our lives at this moment, and they do, if we allow ourselves to be distracted by these people and we fight with each other over, you from here, you from there, you come here, and then because you're not from here, I'm gonna try to take advantage of you, or I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna come here with my resources because my resources have been told by the W's to be of more value. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna take advantage of you. Okay, then you're dooming your children and your posterity to permanent enslavement and permanent destruction at the hands of these people. Now, I want to be clear because there's some people here who may say, you every time you come on this channel, you're talking about how these people are in control and these people are dominating every aspect of our lives. I'm going to get more into that. There's a brother who sent me a comment, and brother, I read the comment. I'm going to address it fully. I want you to all understand. I'm going to address it fully. But for those of you who believe that it's just this fly is killing me. For those of you who believe that the W's do not dominate all of our lives and control every aspect of our lives. Okay, so let's talk about something just quickly because I came here to let you know we need to be united. And all this back and forth. No, we remember, share it. It's good that you share it because we have to let people know who are coming, what they're facing. And I'm going to let you know in another video. But when you want to know if these people are dominating all our lives and if it's true or not, what language am I speaking? I'm speaking English. I'm not English. You're fool if you believe that I'm an Englishman. I'm not speaking Chinese. And even if I was speaking Chinese, I'm not Chinese. Okay? If I'm speaking Arabic, I'm not Arab. Do you understand? The language we speak, it's not ours. Many of these African nations are speaking French and English. They're not French people. That's the result of what? Past domination, colonization, and it's still present today. Okay? Now, that's just it's a very telling example, because your language represents your culture, who you are, your history from the beginning of time, when you begin relating to each other, communicating to each other. And by the way, we invented that. You understand that? That's the only, everything else comes from communication. Everything. And we invented that. It can only be invented once. Everything else is a copy of what was invented first. Okay? Now, we're here. I'm here. I've come from all over the world to here. Every time I look around here, I see signs of their control. So, when you have a world where the system is set up to have a group of people manage the greater population, and we call that government. Well, groups of people in certain areas, through their history, have developed their own ways to manage their societies. But currently, the great majority of these places all over the world, the motherland here and Europe and what they call the Middle East, which I think probably really is Africa, but whatever, Australia, South America, North America, whatever. The structure of managing the society currently is the structure put in place and maintained by the W's. So don't be fooled. You may have some brothers and sisters who actually work in the government in various countries all over the world. They work in the government, but they're not free to do whatever they want to do. And for a variety of reasons. Some of them are not free because it's a job. This is how they pay and earn their living. Some of them have partnered with the W's to say, hey, look, you're going to make me rich? Okay, cool, I'll be rich, and so I'll do things the way you want. And then some of them, my dream is that some of them, okay, I might have to kind of move in these circles with these people in this way, but I'm stacking up my chips and I'm stacking up my resources and I'm doing all of these different things so that once I accumulate enough resources, organize the people in such a way that at a time determined by me, when I'm strong and I'm operating from a position of power, that then we can put in place activity to bring this current situation to an end, to bring this current situation of domination, exploitation, and abuse of our children and our women and our families, bring it to an end. Now this is fact. This is what has to be done. There's no other way. These people are not going to change. This is what should be present. This conversation, this main point should be present in all of these communications that we're doing across these YouTube channels. If you're going to talk about the good and the bad and all that, but no, individuals, so we talk about individuals in the countries. If an individual, let me make sure you understand, I'm telling you, it's all controlled. So when you talk about an individual, the little guy on the street who sees an opportunity to maybe take advantage of somebody who has a little bit more money than he does. I'm talking about among us, African brothers. It doesn't matter what country, African brothers. Whether you're in the U.S., they do it there, they do it in Europe, they do it all over, they do it here in the motherland continent. The brother is forced into a situation, brother and sister, forced into a situation of survival. Okay? So he's the little brother on the street. He's not sitting in the government office. He's not sitting in the private business office. He has no means to kind of extort or steal or do anything on that level, government level or private level. No, he's forced to try to survive on the level where he's at. So if he can't get a job that pays him enough to pay for his living, then he's looking for any other way to survive because he has to survive. And then he sees in somebody else, they got a little extra money, then he starts thinking about ways that he might be able to take advantage of that situation. Now, yes, on the surface, if you want to look at it just superficially, he did something wrong. He didn't crack you in the head. He didn't come and arm rob you and bury you and throw you in the ground and he take what you have. He didn't do that. He just cheated a little bit because he's trying to survive. But he's only a victim of the people who put the system in place, the economic system in place, that forces him to have to do that. There are places where they don't do that. And if the people had their own way, they wouldn't create a system so harsh that you can't get survival for food, water, and shelter. You got to pay for everything that you need to survive. And then to get the money, you can't get the money to get it. So now you got to be forced to do what these people call criminal activity. Then as a result of that, now they want to lock you up. Do you understand? That's everything that you do. So any of you people out who want to justify this harsh system, then you subjecting your children and your future to that. Following white people, following the W's. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now remember, when I say W's, all of them, they're not in control. No, they're W's who are in control. Then there are W's who, just like me and you, they're working every day. But one thing I want you to understand, I'm going to go into more detail on about it in another video. Let me make it clear to you. See, the people will tell you love and let's all be together and let's love each other and all that. They'll tell you that. Okay? But when the time comes, and it will come, when it's necessary for a people to pick up arms to defend themselves against people who don't have their best interest at heart. All of those other people who tell you multiculturalism and I love you and we all one and all that. I just want to ask a question of you out here. Do you think that those people are going to pick up arms with you, people who look like me and you, and take those arms against the people who look like them? Or are they going to tell you, no, that's your struggle. We're friends and everything, but that's not my fault. I ain't doing that. Okay? No, they're not going to do that. You're a fool if you believe that. You're a fool. And if you believe that, and here's the thing, you're even a bigger fool if you believe that it's okay for you to get and take arms and join somebody that doesn't look like you and then come fight, kill, destroy people who look like you. Okay? So let's not be distracted. Let's not be distracted. Let's not be distracted. Let's not be distracted. We have our issues. We do. But those are in-house issues, family issues. And the messages that go out have to be messages with a dominant theme that, yes, we have this problem, but we know that we are working towards this objective, this end of uniting in action and purpose. So if you do that enough and you repeat it enough, over and over again, then now you embed it in the culture of your people. Just like these brothers, these brothers who are, they mean no harm. If you go out and you kind of work to promote a particular thing, a particular ideology, and you go out like a missionary, and you preaching this and you preaching that, and you saying, then eventually, generation after generation after generation, they just accept that as this is the right thing and the normal thing, and when it may be false, harmful to you, but because you've embedded it in your culture over and over again, then future generations, when they come, they accept it as real. All right, so again, I'm just going to close. I want you guys to understand. Yes, we do have some issues with immigration, and the brothers and sisters working in those areas, as well as individuals who are private individuals, citizens working, as well as people who aren't working in those areas but just live in the motherland and are all subject to the W rule and system. When we talk about those issues, because they exist, we should make sure everybody knows, be prepared. This is what you might have to deal with and what you have to face. But keep in mind, we must also include the dominant theme that we are one. We are united, unbreakable, and unstoppable. We are one. We are united. United, unbreakable, and unstoppable. You understand? So make sure that that's the dominant theme. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. All right? Thank you for watching this broadcast of the Rise and Shine. This is the African Times, and I'm Thomas. Please remember, like, if you like, hit the survival button. It's a big help to us. Asante Sana.